Welcome to the Richmond Film Network podcast, your all-access pass to the world of independent cinema. Each week, we go beyond the credits and sit down with the creatives who turn vision into reality. Tune in weekly to find out who's on the RFN pod.
Hello and welcome to the RFN podcast. I'm Lisa Giles, and with me today are two members of the RFN Screenwriters Lab, which meets monthly to provide feedback to member scripts. Sometimes they're the writer, other times they're the peer critic. Welcome to Anson Kessinger and Max Garcia Hernandez.
Hey, it's good to be here.
Both of you are members of the Screenwriters Lab. That can be a difficult process, putting what you write in front of other people to read and to provide feedback, especially when the stories are personal. So tell me about that experience, the first time that you've done it, and now the most recent time that you've done it, because we've been at this for 2 years. Does it get easier?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was very nerve-wracking the first time for sure, because and I am part of like the Virginia Screenwriters Forum, but I still had gotten feedback on a script there for a while, and it's so cool that you guys just like right off the bat you're able to submit something after attending one meeting. So I hadn't really ever had something reviewed by a group of people before, and it was actually Luisa, the first one I got reviewed. But yeah, I was super nervous going into that, especially because that one was really personal. But I've become more comfortable with it too, though, over time, for sure.
Anson?
So before joining the group, I had actually gotten feedback from multiple sources. I think a lot of people, especially early writers, they're just like, hey, tell me what you think. And really all they want to hear is praise. But really being able to listen to notes and hear notes and know what you want to apply and what can fall off is really valuable. Between the first and last, I mean, the group's been great. Always thoughtful feedback and a great number of different voices to hear from.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, that was so well put. I think too, everything's so subjective, I feel too sometimes. But if you keep hearing like a similar note being said about something, there's definitely like a hole there somewhere in whatever you wrote. So once you keep receiving like, hey, something about this character, and everyone else is kind of pointing out the same thing, it's like that is something I should go back and address or look at more.
That's what I was going to ask next is, how do you know what feedback to take and do something with, and how do you know what to leave behind? Because ultimately it's your choice, it's your work. You get to tell the story the way that you want to. So how do you know which feedback is going to help the story or help tell the story that you're trying to tell?
I think Max nailed it. I mean, it's all repetition, right? I mean, someone says, this isn't working, then it probably ain't working.
Yeah. Once you hear it like the fifth time, it's like, oh shit, yeah. Oh, sorry, I don't know if I can swear here. Yeah, let's beep that out.
It's okay.
Yeah, but yeah, it is a thing of like, yeah, if it's repeated so much, maybe they aren't necessarily giving you the right answer about how to go about it, but it is something that needs to be addressed, I think.
Yeah, and sometimes even if it isn't the right answer, at least maybe it gets you thinking about something you can spin off of that.
Yes, absolutely.
Do you find that your characters often start with somebody that you know, or do they emerge from situations that you create? Or both? Or it depends?
I'd say both. Definitely both.
I think inspiration comes from all places, whether it be personal relationships, or I've come up with full concepts just listening to an album, maybe not related to the music, but it will definitely spawn just like, oh, well, this character and this is what they like to do, and then it just all blows up.
Yeah, same. What's kind of funny, at least for me personally, and I don't know, this might sound weird, I think after a certain point, once you've like written this character and you've gone far enough into the story, they kind of just start being their own like person. And
Right.
they're the ones kind of guiding those decisions as the story keeps going. And it's like, wait, that's not something this person would do or say. They kind of just get like a life of their own. That sounds
Yeah.
crazy to say.
No. I mean,
Yeah.
they talk to you.
Yeah, no, seriously.
And you need to listen to them.
Yeah, no, sometimes they even surprise me. I'm like, oh my God, why would you say that? But it's like, no, this is who this person is. Yeah.
So in the lab, we often talk about screenwriting rules, and there are certainly diehard rules to follow, especially formatting wise. So outside of standard screenwriting protocol, do you personally have any rules that you add on to that? Or do you have rules that you break intentionally?
For me, the rules are important. The rules are there for a reason. And I think that if you are going to break them, you need a very specific reason to do it, not just I'm going to be different just to be different and hope I get noticed. That's kind of like swearing, right? If you don't use those words very often, when you do, it makes an impact. People will listen. So I think that if you're going to break a rule, make sure it has purpose. Otherwise, like my rules are just keep it tight. Page economy. Page economy is so important. Don't use shooting directions. Don't like parentheticals. Like that takes up a line. Every bit of space you save is space for you to put another cool nugget, something new and cool to add to your story, rather than just having that space taken up by a beat.
Yeah, no, I fully agree, but I can't help but still do that stuff. Even though I'm like, no, you're 100% right. You are right. But I don't know. Sometimes I just can't help myself. And even then, I do sometimes go back and be like, maybe this isn't necessary.
Give
And
me an example, Max.
I mean, I definitely do. I will throw in camera direction sometimes, because it's like I just have such a specific thing I'm picturing here. And I mean, it's not maybe something I'll even end up directing, but it is like, it just helps me visualize so much more. And same with music, like throwing a track on there. You're not supposed to like really write a song that's taking place over this scene, but I've been guilty. I'll definitely do that too. My stuff probably can be like really dissected to where I could be more economical with what's on the page. No, because Anson's stuff is very clean, honestly. It is some of like the prettiest scripts I read, and I think it is important. You don't want to be putting stuff that's going to be kind of a disadvantage either if it's not something you're planning to shoot. And if you're just putting camera direction all over that thing or actor direction, that's doing more harm than good, I think, if you only plan to be like a writer.
Right. And letting your actors letting them create, right?
Right.
Off of what you've created, rather than telling them, no, this is exactly what I want you to say, and this is how you need to say it. And it's like, they're the actors, they can do that.
Yeah. I don't know, the more and more I've like written and read stuff, I think more than anything, you're just kind of offering like a blueprint for, the cast and crew more than anything.
Both of you have submitted many scripts to the Screenwriters Lab. How has getting that consistent feedback from the group shaped your writing or changed the direction of any particular script?
That's a great question. Do you want to answer that, Anson?
I mean,
that's an incredible.
No, I mean, it's motivation first and foremost. It's motivation to keep going, or maybe stop a script. But I mean, I can't say that's ever happened. It's always been a place of wanting to build and create more. So I mean, I'd say that's the biggest thing that's come out of the lab is just the motivation. Is especially after we finish one, I'm like already, let's hit the ground, ready to go, and press forward.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. It is incredibly motivating. Whether it's I got feedback where things do need to be kind of shifted around here, that is also motivating in itself. Or if you're getting praise, that's even more inspiring too. Yeah, no, I think you absolutely do need people reading your stuff too. It can't just be like scripts you have that aren't shared. I don't think you'll ever really grow if people aren't giving you feedback and reading your stuff. Yeah, the lab's been great for that reason for me, definitely.
The lab has just celebrated its 2-year anniversary, and what we decided to do with writers who gave permission, we took some of those first pages of those scripts and we compiled them in a magazine that we called First Pages, where the original first page, as submitted to the lab, was paired with a revised page that came later, and we turned that into a magazine, which is now available on Amazon. So what about having your work seen in print, what did that mean to you? And what value do you see in that magazine?
I mean, again, I think it's just, again, motivation, motivation, and, also a little bit of validation too. That the work that we're doing matters, and for it to be seen is, it's awesome. And I appreciate every bit of it. Yeah, Max?
Yeah, no, likewise. Incredibly inspiring. I've gone through it so many times. This is so awesome. There was definitely some where you could see where there was changes from the first page to this, the adjustments, just where things were definitely more streamlined, cleaner. And yeah, just things that I think are benefiting the script as a whole.
I mean, and it shows that the lab brings so much value. I mean, I don't know if you know this, but I actually use vacation time from work to attend the labs because it's that important to me. And the people, I do love our group. It's a good group.
Yeah, I think there's nothing like attending in person either. It makes such a world of difference, if you can, because I know there are limitations for sure, but it helps so much just to be there in person and talking with everyone. And then afterwards, sometimes we talk too, just dive deeper into things.
Mm-hmm.
So both of you have had scripts turned into film, and that obviously is the goal with any script, I suppose.
Yeah.
So Anson, you've had, let's see, I know you've had The Real Deal, Grandma's Dead, Modern Love, that were brought to life by Pure Artistry Productions through the Richmond 48-Hour Film Project, and Modern Love won the Richmond 48-Hour Film Project last year.
Those are great credits, Anson.
what does that feel like to see these ideas as you're writing them and to have those ideas come to life? What is that like for you?
It's a whirlwind. I mean, but that's kind of the nature of the 48. I mean, you're just starting from scratch, and then at the end of 2 days, it's like, wow, we have a finished product. No, it's great, and also to be able to collaborate with other folks and being able to trust the people that you're working with to be able to take your vision and then spin it into what is a finished product. It's pretty awesome.
Now, Max, you've done the same thing. You've had
yeah. I mean, so interesting because it's been a few years now since I have written and directed a 48, but no, it was it's awesome. I think because scripts definitely can stand on their own too, but actually seeing it develop and having people come and say these lines you've written, and the character actually being like a real person, it's definitely it feels great for sure. What was the question?
Well, let me switch gears a little bit. Let me switch gears a little bit because outside of the 48, and you had mentioned a bit ago about Louisa, that was the first script that you brought to the lab, and it got so much praise at the lab, and you have produced that.
Oh yeah,
and it's in post-production. So tell us about that process from writing to producing that on your own.
Yeah, it was it's been hell. But I just it's all just learning, I feel, and growing, and I think that experience has made me a better writer. It just makes me consider so many other things when I'm writing stuff now, and I don't think you should limit yourself either, but if it's something I would want to get made, you definitely do need to give yourself kind of boundaries and limitations to these things. But but no, it's awesome. And I think a thing too is just lowering, not like lowering your expectations, but kind of being able to adapt to a different vision than what you originally pictured is very important, because so much stuff is just going to change throughout that whole process. And I think there's that line where it's like the movie's made like 3 times when it's written, shot, and then edited. But it's just so true. I think I got pretty close though, just because I did also direct it, and I was just helping with wardrobe, working with the actors so much. So it is pretty close to what that script is and how I saw it originally. But I think if you're just like a writer, you do kind of need to, this is going to be kind of something different probably than what you wrote, depending on who ends up handling the script, depending on how close you guys work together, I guess. But that's okay too. It could end up being something better.
You definitely have to be able to pivot.
Yeah.
Listen to and accept different ideas.
So of all the scripts that you've written, which one feels the most you, and why?
Anson?
I mean, guess you had to be there, which I co-wrote with Alex Falls. I mean, is incredibly personal. So I would say that feels the most me.
Which was the first that you brought to the lab?
It is the first one that was brought to the lab. Even though some things are embellished, some names were changed to protect the innocent. That one is definitely, I guess, my baby. Who knows if it'll ever see the light of day, but we're working on that.
Absolutely. I don't know. I think every one I've submitted to the lab definitely you can't help but always put a part of you into these things. But it's a feature I have written. I haven't submitted that to the lab actually, but it's just kind of like centers around a period of my life when I was kind of working a job I didn't really like too much. But it kind of just chronicles these blue collar workers. I should maybe submit that one day actually. Just get some feedback on it. But yeah, that one's very personal.
Now, switching gears to when you come to the lab without a script and you're serving as a peer critic, what is your mindset going into that process?
Just being helpful. And I think that everybody brings that to the table. It all comes from a place of wanting to help the other writer make something as streamlined and as good as it can be.
Same. I think a lot of it too is kind of, about how you word and say things as well. Because it's like, all right, this wasn't my cup of tea necessarily, but why not, and kind of dive deeper into what wasn't exactly working for you. But I think it is important to come from a good place. It's about helping each other out more than anything. And you would want to receive the same treatment too. If someone's reading your script and they don't quite like it, why didn't it work for you? And, word things in a respectful way too.
Yeah,
I think it's very important.
You got to be constructive.
Yeah, constructive criticism.
Yeah. No one's going to come to the table and say this sucks.
Yeah.
And then offer no reasons why.
Who knows? I'm sure that's happened so much in other places.
Right. But no, we have a good group.
Who are some screenwriters or filmmakers or authors that have helped shape your voice or inspired you?
Man,
is that a long list, Anson?
I mean, just film, really. As early as I can remember, sitting down in front of the VCR watching Star Wars and Clash of the Titans and Flash Gordon. My dad took me to see Aliens in the theater at age 9. Nightmares for weeks, but that like cemented that was the okay. This is cool. Let's see how we can get into this and do this. And I just blanked on the question too. Oh, I think when I really started paying attention to writing was Quentin Tarantino's True Romance. It was just like the dialogue work, and also just the weaving of a story. It also was not a traditional Scooby-Doo ending kind of story. Just I think that's really when I started paying attention to writing. So yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah. I mean, I've just inspiration just from everywhere. Even like Anson said, I've also gotten ideas just from listening to music and albums or specific songs. Even just like a YouTube comment sometimes on a video on a song will kind of inspire an idea. Just someone's pouring their heart out and, typing up like a comment about something that happened relating to the song. Or it's funny, like even like a Reddit post sometimes too. I think I just like stories in whatever medium they can come.
Now, Max, I've been around you enough to know that you carry a book around with you and you handwrite a lot of notes, which I find interesting, not the technology. So you have this notebook. So is that what that notebook is for? Is for when the inspiration hits,
Yeah,
then you just write the idea down?
Yeah, absolutely. I have even one at work, like all the time on me, for sure. It's funny. I actually wrote Luisa at work, just like on pen and paper.
Wow.
Yeah. And I did some more drafts on the computer, but that initial was just pen and paper. I think that also helps too with like you don't end up getting too wordy either, because you got to write everything out. So it kind of helps limit myself there, because I'm guilty of it.
So what has screenwriting taught you about yourself introspectively?
It's very therapeutic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's incredibly therapeutic.
And learning to write with no limits.
Yeah.
Yeah, and anything is a possibility in that kind of world when you have that canvas.
Yeah.
Without any kind of limits. I mean, your canvas is always blank, and you can go as far as you want, and maybe rein it in. But yeah, the universe is your oyster.
So are either of you submitting to competitions? And if so, which one?
It's been a while.
I have
for
never
me.
submitted to one.
You never have?
I've never submitted to a competition. No.
As you know, I used to do a 5-page competition on the regular. I think I ended up with like 24 5-page scripts out of that. But that also has ended recently, and a lot of the contests are shutting down. Yeah, I haven't had anything for a big break in a while. I think I had submitted. Guess you had to be there at one point to Big Break, but that was about it.
If someone's out there listening who's never shared their work or been part of a writing group, what would you want them to know?
Get it out there. Let it live. It would stink to just have created this thing and just keep it to yourself, right? Let other people see it. Let other people experience it. People will get something out of it. And who knows? And everybody might get something different out of it, or you might be able to see something through someone else's eyes that you hadn't seen yet, and maybe apply that to your own work.
I agree too. I think just starting out too, it's important just to try and dabble in every aspect as well. If you want to be a writer, I think you should still go out and shoot something too. Just to kind of get an idea of how your lines sound when someone's saying them out loud. Or this thing you wrote, just in terms of, someone would even go about shooting it. I think that in itself helps make you a better writer too. Or even just acting a little bit, just kind of trying everything, especially at like kind of a slower level, I feel. Just being versatile is important, I think.
Yeah, I think I said this earlier too. It's just listen. Don't take it personally.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's always going to be your work, and you get to do it with it whatever you want. And anybody else saying this or that on it, you internalize that and you apply that how you want to, or don't. But don't take it personally.
So what are you working on now, or dreaming of, if you're not working on anything now?
I'm always working on stuff in my head. Just getting it out onto page is the issue. But no, I've got at least 3 things rolling around right now in my head. I'm also looking for a 48 team right now. So anybody out there listening, I'm a free agent if someone needs a writer. But yeah, I'm hopefully going to open up the laptop and get one of these guys out, evict them soon and get them onto the page.
Yeah, no, same. I wish I had more time, just because there are so many things I would like to write, and I have outlined. But just finding that time is so difficult. I do end up just kind of working more on shorts, just because it's more manageable. But yeah, other than that, I still am in post with Lisa. Just a little bit of a setback I've had, but I'm still kind of trying to push through it. But it's almost there. It's almost there. And then script wise, there is a pilot to this TV series I've had in my mind for years now. Kind of True Detective-esque. Season 1, and I kind of already have the 8 episodes outlined. Just sitting down and writing them is the part I need to get to. And then I also do a podcast as well with a buddy. We actually just filmed, with a couple guests yesterday. Actually, I'd love to have either of you on one day if you'd be down. If the opportunity's ever there.
So guys, this has been informative and fun. Tell listeners how they can find you if they want to follow your work.
The podcast I just mentioned, that's HZB2 Studios, and that's on everything, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And then I'm posting updates on my short film at Crimson Summit Media.
My IG is just my name, Anson Kessinger. So anybody wants to get in touch with me there, that's great.
All right, guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no, thank you. Thank you, Lisa. This was great.
That's a wrap for this episode of the Richmond Film Network podcast. Thanks to our guest and to you, our listeners, for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, and share. Tune in next week to see who's on the RFN pod. Until then, keep the cameras rolling.